Well, hello. My name is Sarah, and this is another knitting podcast because why not? I have zero expectations with this. It's basically just a way for me to get all of my knitting energy out without bombarding my family because God bless them, they are wonderful and listen to me talk about yarn and projects and WIPs and new ideas and all the things pretty much nonstop. So I'm trying this instead of hounding them all the time. Very quick how I got started. I have been crocheting for over 20 years. My mom taught me when I was a wee little thing. And I have always been so intrigued by knitting, but I found it to be very fancy looking and just didn't have the confidence that I could do it. I was very intimidated by it. Until 2021 when a girlfriend of mine started knitting and conned me into thinking that I could do it too. And I started and pretty much instant love once I got the hang of it, which was much easier than I thought. So I've only been doing it for 21, 22. So this is going into my third year of knitting. I still consider myself very much a beginner knitter. And I'm obsessed with YouTube knitting podcasts and all the things. I'm really not sure where this specific podcast is going to go. I am, full disclosure, a serial starter. I am amazing at starting things, but when it comes to finishing and carrying on, I'm not the best. That is actually one of my goals this year though, is to actually start projects and finish them in terms of knitting. Life projects, that's a whole different story that we're not going to talk about today. But anyway, I have not really finished a whole bunch of knitting projects either per se. I've done some hats. Baby blankets are really my jam. Crochet and knit. That's pretty much all I would crochet as well, were baby blankets. Among a few other like little trinkety things. But I really find baby blankets, handmade baby blankets, incredibly special. And I really, really love gifting those to good friends to hand off to their little babes. So baby blankets, a couple hats. I've knit my grandma some washcloths. She loves the crochet washcloths I used to make her. So I tried knitting her some of those. She likes those as well. And I have made myself a shawl. I was lucky enough to be a test knitter for Maggie from GingerSnapFibers. She did a test call for testing, I guess, at the end of 2022 for her Reconstructed shawl, which was amazing to knit. I honestly did not, I couldn't believe I finished it. Because I don't finish a lot of things. But I wanted to do that for her and to finish it and have that experience. I learned a ton of new things during it. I learned the I-cord, and it's just full of textures and countless color possibilities. It's a fantastic pattern. I would highly recommend checking that out if you're looking for a new shawl. And then just previous to the shawl, I knit my first pair of socks, thanks to why am I blanking? Oh my gosh, that was embarrassing. Thanks to Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady, I followed her vanilla pattern from my first ever knit socks and literally cried when I finished because I could not believe that I actually finished a project. Her tutorial and her pattern are amazingly written. She's obviously done this for a long time. Expertise in the field. Incredibly grateful for her talent. Because without her, I don't know, who knows? I'd still be a serial starter, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so I don't really have any finished projects to show you because this is our first time together. So I thought I would just really quickly go over what I'm working on right now. I do have a couple acquisitions because it sounds so fancy when I say that. But so I got some yarn that I'm super excited about. So I just wanted to throw that out there, and then I don't know, we'll see where this goes. So I guess let's start. I'll start with a pair of socks because I really do love socks. I always have a pair of socks on the needles. And this year I was super excited because I joined the Farmer's Daughter Fiber Sock Squad. So it's like a monthly subscription, and I have been doing a different pattern every month just because I have purchased quite a few sock patterns, and then I do have the 52 Weeks of Socks book. So I don't care about duplicate socks at all. I just thought it would be a fun little like self challenge. But this actually is a repeat pair or pattern, I should say. So this is Ode to Barbara by Summerlee Knits. I'm not sure, you can't really see the pattern too well with this striping. And of course, I don't know what I'm doing, so it's blurry. There we go. So Summerlee Knits, it's a great pattern. It's the second time I've knit it. It has just a really nice little like lace up the middle, and then it's just 2x2 ribbing around, and cuff down, obviously knit because I don't have my toe yet. And I really like the pattern. It keeps me interested, but it's easy enough repeats that you don't need to follow the pattern line for line, if that makes sense. And then I'm knitting it out of Sock Ease, their sock yarn, and it's in the colorway Sidecar, if you want to see that. It's April in Northeast Ohio, so it's really not the best time to be knitting wool socks, but I didn't have my Farmer's Daughter Fiber April yarn yet, and I wanted to get something on the needles, and they're just for me, and I like to be cozy all year long anyway, so whatever, it doesn't matter. But these are 75% wool, 25% nylon. So figured I'd give these a whirl. But I do really like her pattern. And I would recommend all of her patterns just based on this one. So I don't know. Color me happy. Next is, a very, very, very close to being done WIP. My son requested a sweater, which I thought was very sweet because he's 15 and why would he care about mom's knitting? But he requested a sweater, like, you know, in the middle of winter, but I was very clear that I did not know when it would be done because it's my first garment ever, and I did not know how complicated anything would be, and I just didn't, you know, wanted to give him realistic expectations. So this is the, just pulling up the pattern, this is the Men's Classic Raglan Pullover by Jane Richmond. It is a paid for pattern available on Ravelry, but everything's actually done. Sorry, that's just my little stitch marker, or marker in there. Everything's done, sleeves are done. Super proud of that, and I'm just working on the neck ribbing, so it's like literally moments away from being done, and I could not be more excited for this. Knitting a sweater, it being my first experience, the raglan was easy to figure out, or the pattern was amazing to follow. I would recommend it for anybody that's never done a sweater or garment before. It was super easy to follow, pretty intuitive. It's very size inclusive. So I'm doing this, and then I'm making it out of Knit Picks Wool of the Andes in Aurora Heather. It's just a really nice green. It's not really accurate, I guess, color wise, but there we go. It's a really pretty green, 100% Peruvian Highland wool. Easy to work with. It didn't bother my hands at all. I was worried with wool that it would be a little too like scratchy to work with, but this was totally fine. I actually ordered a sweater quantity of this same one, but in a different colorway, a grayish color, to knit my husband raglan after I'm done with this one. Well, at some point, because there's a lot of other projects I want to do in between. But anyway, so this is very close to being done. When I make another video, this will 1000% be done. Next, I have a sweater for myself that I know I'm really late to the like Andrea Mowry, I hope I said that right, train, but I'm knitting a weekend pullover for myself. I just I'd started to make another sweater pattern by Two of Wands, and this was 1,000,000% my error. I did not pay any bit of attention that it was labeled like an intermediate pattern. So I had started it and really flubbed it up pretty right away. So I got a little discouraged, but then I was like, this is ridiculous. You have a sweater quantity of yarn, figure out something. And then I stumbled upon Andrea's page, which obviously, how do you pick from all of her stuff? But everyone in their mother and brother and uncle and sister seemed to be knitting the Weekender. So I gave it a try. And I am almost done with the body before splitting. Oh, it's a little off. Sorry. I'm like mid. Oh, my needles are right there. Let me try this side. So I flipped it inside out so you could see it. It's knit inside out, so you can do stockinette. So there's that, and I love the little detail up the middle on the front and the back. Anyway, so I'm almost ready to split for sleeves, and I'm doing this in 2 of Wands Color Theory. It's the color Moonbeam, which I love. It's such a great neutral. It's not even, can you see? It says Moonbeam. I'm sorry. I'm not good at this. It's just like a really great whitish, mushroomy color. I don't know. I really jammed with it. And I bought this as a kit to do her sweater, which I'll keep on the back burner, and I will definitely reattempt it at some point, because it's that other pattern's a beautiful pattern too. So that's that. And then let me see, what do I have next? Ooh, I have a shawl that is, again, desperately close to being done. Well, in reality, it was actually finished. But then I did not like the shape of it, and it is not the pattern, the maker's fault or anything like that. It's just like, it was like a me thing. It's the European Road Trip Shawl by Espaci Tricot, and I'm really sorry if I say that wrong. I am culturally inept and bad at pronouncing a lot of things. So it is a super easy, just stockinette, but it's like knit and then purl, because it's worked back and forth, or flat, I should say. It's in the shape, it's increased and decreased to be in the shape of a parallelogram, and I did that and it was totally finished. But then I found that it didn't fit what I wanted it to fit. I wanted it to be like a cozy shawl to wrap around my shoulders, and it's more of like a loop around your neck situation, and I am not smart enough to have figured that out beforehand. So not a big deal. I just ripped back like the last third whenever the decreases started, and then I just flipped the sides of the decreases on the garment so that it ended up being more of like a trapezoid shape instead of the parallelogram that it was intended for. But super easy pattern to follow. I really liked it. I mean, I would totally knit it again. Although, let me finish this one first. And then I used I picked this up on a Black Friday sale. I used the Mandala bonus bundle. It's like a wound up in a plate. And I liked it because it's like literally has like all of your yardage. Has like over 1,000 yards in it, and then it's the colorway Chimera. Again, I'm bad. There we go. I am obsessed with self-striping yarn or color changing yarn. It, like, who wouldn't be? It literally does the work for you. So I picked up 2 different colorways, and I knew that I'd eventually do something with it, and I was ready to grab it and get it on the needles. I had bought them, I don't know if I just said this, I bought them at a Black Friday sale at Joann's. I got sucked into a whole garbage bag of Black Friday sale at Joann's this past year. I really, to backtrack, had been knitting since 2021, but really deep dived into it in like October-ish, October, November, which is when I finished my first pair of socks. And then it was just like all systems go, obsessed, knitting in most of my spare time. Anyway, back to the shawl, because it's really pretty and I really love it. So it's just like a rainbow colorway, and I just love the fade, and it just really honestly covers all of the colors. It's so beautiful. So I am down to this brown down here, which then just turns into purple for a few rows and then back to pink. So I'm literally like 20 rows from being done. So this will hopefully be done by my next video too, because I literally have so many projects that I want to make, and I know I'm not the only one, but I gotta stop. I have to finish stuff before I start anymore. It's gonna have to be one of those situations where, like, you can't start something until you finish something, because this gal is overwhelmed with the WIPs surrounding her. Like, come on, get it together. I'm so envious of monogamous knitters. I really am, because it's like they start a project and then they finish it and then they get to move on. That's not my that's not in my wheelhouse. I just like different things to be working on different things at different times. And depending on if I'm in the car or if I'm at home or if I'm with the kids, like there's just certain things that, you know, there's certain projects for different things. That's just how I work, but I just want them done. I do have to go back really quick. I forgot to say that my socks, I house in my GingerSnapFibers bags. I love them. I have two. This is a snap closure one, and then I have a drawstring closure one for socks. I love both of them. I love her stuff so much. Yeah, but it's just like such a cute little pattern. And then with this bag came this little yarn cozy, which I never realized how much I needed a yarn cozy until I had one. What was I doing with my life beforehand? I don't know. So that's that one. And then the Raglan that I just showed is just housed in like an old toy, like an old basket, canvas basket. And then my shawl though is in, this is actually a 2 of Wands crochet pattern. I think it's called the Auden Bag, A-U-D-E-N or R-E-N. Anyway, I love this sack. I made it a really long time ago and I never knew what I was going to do with it until I needed a project bag. And then I was like, duh, good job, girl. It's just, you just slide it right on through and then it's that. I mean, it could like totally be a purse, a tote bag for whatever, for anything. Like I said, I just needed a project bag big enough for the mandala cake and what the shawl would be. So I just grabbed that and it's nice because then it's just like, I just snap it on and it's coming out and I'm just boop, 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 do my thing. So that's that one. What's next? Oh, these two are like in the category of like embarrassing knits because they've been on the needle so long, right? And it's so sad because I love them. So this first one is a wrap from Mama in a Stitch, whom I love her patterns just as much as I love 2 of Wands. I'm so appreciative of designers who put their creativity out there for free. It's like mind-blowing to me that they do that. I totally don't mind paying for patterns either. But like, I'm so thankful, especially when I was first getting started with knitting and trying to find things. I mean, I'm on a budget. Well, I'm on a fake budget. I should be on a real budget. That's a different story. So I appreciate free patterns. This is her Cosmos textured wrap. And this wrap is awesome because it literally goes through, ugh, I'm in the middle of a row. Ugh, that's annoying. It goes through like a lot of textures that you do in knitting. So it's just like great practice and it's nice because you can do it in the same colorway, but it still adds that element of detail. So this is what I have so far. So you literally go through like stockinette, garter, drop stitch, there's some seed in there, and then it just repeats. So I think it's like 4, 5, 6 different textures and then it repeats. And I love that it's like nice and wide too. Like it's a real, I don't know, you know, I mean, it's going to be like a cozy size wrap. And with all the different textures too, it remains light and airy. It's not weighed down by any means. And I'm making it with just a big twist soft. It's an acrylic yarn. It's available at Joann's. It's like a, you know, very affordable yarn and it's in the colorway taupe. In case you couldn't guess that. I mean, it's pretty spot on for taupe. But I love this wrap and I really, really, really want to finish it. I just got, I don't know, overly excited about other things, which is no negative press to like this wrap because it's great. And she's always super clear and concise with her patterns and her writing. And I find her stuff really easy to follow. And I love her stuff. So that's that one. And then my last super embarrassing WIP, because it's like literally so close to being done. It's like, what are you doing? Get it together. This is the Streamline tank by 2 of Wands, actually. So it's super cute. I really like it. So this is what I have so far. So it's stockinette, but you work it back and forth, you know, so you have to alternate. And then with this like great little it's a knit one below detail in the middle. And then I really liked it too because the straps were thick, so I can still wear like a bra. I wish I was confident enough to not wear bras, but anyway, different story. So this is done. I literally have the front done. I have the back almost done. I just have to, honestly, I have to literally finish this sleeve. Do you see how ridiculous is this? Like, I have to finish the sleeve and then seam it together. Like, come on. but it will be really great once it's done. I really love this colorway. It's full of like light pinks and blues and greens and creams. I'm not sure if it's like coming across like super great. But I love it. And it is, I wish I could tell you what it is. I'll try to find it and like post about it. But it's a cotton blend, but it's super, super soft. I really like it. And it's a Lion brand. I got it from Joann's. So I'm sure it's Lion brand. So that's my other incredibly embarrassing WIP. I'd actually really like to finish that for summer though, because it's a tank top. So maybe I'll try to finish that one next. I don't know. There's so many things I want to do though. Last WIP is a WIP for a WIP. Haha. So since I really delved into knitting, I have not crocheted a bunch just because I've discovered the world of knitting. So I kind of put that aside, but I follow Kat the Crazy Sock Lady, her podcast and all that kind of stuff. I watch a million podcasts, but I really enjoy hers too. And she has been making for a bit now the jelly roll blanket, and then she always talks about her subscription to Row One. And I was like, you know what? Like, let's do it. I am also a copycat knitter. I really get inspired by what everyone else is working on. I'm not very imaginative in the sense of going on to Ravelry and searching for something and finding patterns that way. I really just way more get inspired by, you know, kind of what everybody else is working on these days or that day or whatever. I watch old podcasts too, so it's like stuff from a couple years ago too. But yes, so I usually will pick up after what other people are doing. So she's been working on a jelly roll for a while, and then I think she just started another one, something like that. And she always talks about Row One subscriptions, and I was like, I don't have a blanket for my house that I made. And that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, if I've been in the yarn craft world for as long as I have been, why don't I have a blanket? Like, that just seems really silly to me. So I decided to treat myself. Again, that budget situation kind of goes out the window when it comes to yarn. Treat myself to a Row One subscription. And then I knew that I wanted to make a jelly roll out of it because I just thought it would be really fun and colorful and bright. And, you know, why not? I've never done that kind of blanket before. Sure, let's do it. So I signed up for a Row One subscription and then realized, like, well, I want to have a container ready when these come, because I'm probably not going to be able to work through a whole month in that month. So I wanted just like a place I could keep everything and the project. So I was like looking for baskets and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, that's stupid. Make a basket. So this is the basket that I'm making. It is just knit out of my like scrap yarn that I have. It's like a bulky weight yarn and then just an Aran or DK weight, like Super Saver kind of yarn. I like them together. It just gives like a very slight marled effect. I'm a pretty neutral person in general. So these are the yarns that I'm using. So this is the bulky, and then this is just it's not Red Heart, but it's probably like Bernat Super Saver or something like that. Whatever, available at Joann's. That's where I buy like most of my yarn. So it's just a nice little, like, you know, increase in the round. I didn't follow a pattern really, just increased. And then I'm just doing up the side. I'm just doing, I really like doing single crochet, double crochet. I just think it gives a nice little texture that's a little more interesting than, you know, just like doing one stitch all the way across. So I'm just doing that. And then I want to make it, I don't know, it's probably like 6 inches tall. I really want to make it taller, so it can maybe have a little more structure. And then that way I can just dump my Row Ones in it. And then as I like have it next to me on the couch or whatever, I'm just going to literally dip my hand in and pull out a color. And then that's what I'm going to work in, because I also get really stressed out when I try to pick out color palettes, decide on colors and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to grab it. I might even have one of my kids grab it out because it might stress me out too much to blindly grab it. I get stressed out about the most benign things that don't actually matter. I'm working on it. So that's actually my last WIP. I am using a size L 8mm hook for that, just to try to make it as tight as I can with it still being comfortable to work with. So hopefully that'll help kind of keep the structure up too. Yeah, so I think those are all of my WIPs. There's a lot of projects that I want to work on after some stuff's off the needles. There is a tank top let me pull it up really quick. There's a tank top. I have like 19 things in my queue. It's stupid. I'm never going to get through them all. It's going to be ever changing, but I do next want to do the opal tank by 2 of Wands, and I did use their recommended yarn. Is it Kobu? I don't know how you say it, from Lion Brand. I actually have it. So I got this in the colorway Olive. I'm a huge fan of green. Kobu? I don't know. Anyway, got it in Olive. It's 51% cotton, 49% rayon. So I got this to do the opal tank. This will probably be my next like new cast on. And then besides that, I have a bunch of stuff in my queue that I ordered yarn for from Knitpicks. I'm a big fan of Knitpicks as well as Joann's. I like their stuff a lot. So that's coming tomorrow. So I think I'm going to save future project ideas for, I don't know, probably my next video when I get all that yarn and I can just show you my plans and see what you think. I don't know. So that's all of that. Let me show you my quick acquisitions, and then I think I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm just like on a little lunch break from work today, so I don't want this to carry on too long, because I gotta get back to work. I will show you, I got my April Farmer's Daughter Fibers Sock Squad. So I guess like spoiler or whatever, I don't know, it's like into April already, several days. So if you have not opened it yet, I'm really sorry. But they're doing all their sock sets based on flowers, and it came with like this really cute little calendar. So this month is dandelions, and I mean, I think it's like pretty spot on. I love it. I think it's really cute. I think it'll work up really cute. Here's the little tag for it. Oh boy. I think I'll get better at this at some point, huh? I don't know. It's their April Sock Squad, and it's color lines dandelion. Duh. So really nice green. I really like this green a lot. It's like a dark olive, and then I'm super excited to see how these work up. The only thing I have not figured out is what sock pattern I'm going to do these with. I've already done Kay's vanilla socks. I've done the Ode to Barbara. I talked about that, and then I think the other socks I've done have just been like based off of the vanilla sock pattern, but just like different ribbing and stuff like that. No, I did do the morning, what is it called? Morning Coffee Talk or something by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady too. I did that one, and that was a really cool one too. I did that with my February Sock Squad yarn. So I can't repeat that for this. So I'll figure out a new pattern and do that. I'm excited to get those casted on though too. I might do these before I finish my socks I just showed you earlier, just because I am trying to do the sock squad in the month I get them. One, because they have a prizey thing or whatever going, like a group on Ravelry, so I like to try to stay caught up with that. And I think that if I don't do it in that month, I'll just get like overwhelmed and get behind. And you know, knitting is like supposed to be like enjoyable, and it's very calming for me, so I don't like stress knitting. I like to try to start my sock month like pretty early into the month so that I have time. So there's that. And then I have my row 1 subscription. So I don't know if this is April's. I guess it's April's because it is April, but it came like insanely fast, like bananas fast. I think I ordered this. I did not even order it a week ago, and it was already here. Sorry, I'm trying to gather them all up together so I can hopefully. Oh, so I guess maybe this might be another spoiler if you haven't like opened your row 1 for April. So don't look. So these are all the colors. Hopefully you can see them pretty good. There we go. The only one that I'm not incredibly happy with is this like dark guy here. Because it just doesn't really match the rest of the colorways, but that's okay. I really like the idea of playing with new yarn dyers and new companies. Like that's just like something I really like. I don't have all the funds in the world to support all the hand dyed and indie dyers that are like so amazing. So if I don't know, I just figured this is maybe like a little small way to do that. And then it was really cool. I was really impressed that it also came, you already know this if you subscribe, but it came with like a whole sheet about the dyers and who they are and about their company. I don't know. I just thought that was really cool. These are, I forgot to say, sorry. These are Woolen Women Fibers. I just thought that was really cool to like know where they came from, know who's behind it. So I'm excited for next month already, but I'm excited to get this going into a jelly roll. I think that'll be, I just think it'll be fun, and it'll just be something I'll continue doing, you know, for the year or however big I make the blanket. So that'll be fun. And then, even though I just said I can't really support indie and handmade dyers, I love the Grocery Girls Knit podcast, and I'm always checking out the people that they're showcasing. It's usually just like a like on Instagram because that's all I can do, and I do want to support people however I can. But they have talked for a few times about the company Hue Loco, and so I was just checking out their site, and I mean, I could not just window shop there. First of all, they like seem to have a super love for chickens, and I love all of their chicken and rooster colorways. We have chickens. I love my chickens so much, and I just was like, oh my gosh, like another chicken yarn lover, whatever. I know, it's so silly. But anyway, so I did get their little bag, which is, I'm just going to use for a project bag. I'm assuming that's what it's intended for. I mean, it would make like a small little tote bag too. It just has like a one shoulder strap. It has a little magnetic closure, a small little pocket inside. I just really liked it. I mean, it's chickens and yarn. I really couldn't ask for anything more on here, except if it had like a couple plants or flowers, but it's like so awesome. I'm super excited about it. And then I bought her Phyllis sock set in the colorway Bliss Out because I could not, so here's her little label, and then there's the colorway Bliss Out. It's just like the most beautiful white and pink, but like all these beautiful speckles of like rainbow colors. I don't know, is this even, there we go, that's showing better. It's just like literally so beautiful. And then I love this little mini that you get. I won't use this mini, if I make these into socks, I won't use this mini for it. I don't know why, it's like literally a personal me thing. I am not into using like a speckled or a color changing yarn and then a different speckled or color changing for the like toes heel cuff if I decide to do that with socks. Literally, it's just like a weird me thing. I don't care if other people do it at all, but I loved this mini so much anyway, so it was totally benign that I wouldn't use it for a sock, because I will totally use it in something else. I loved that. Oh, it's a merino nylon 75-25 blend, if you didn't need it to know that, if you wanted to know that. And then this was like my mega purchase, and I'm so stoked for this. I'm sorry it's messy. I like unwound it and tried to wind it back up, but I'm not good at it. This is her Spun Sock XL in Mood Ring. Oh my gosh. It's just, I mean, the like literally the vibrance of colors, it's just like mouth-watering. It's so beautiful. I don't understand how dyers do what they do anyway, and then to like get this in the mail, I mean, and it's like so soft. It's a merino cashmere nylon 80-10-10 blend, and it's a fingering yarn. You get 600 yards out of this too, so I'm probably gonna keep this on my yarn wall for a little bit and like stare at it and touch it and maybe like, you know, but for a while, because I want to find the right pattern. I want to make something really, really special for myself with this. I can't stop staring at it. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I did get a few more yarns in like super recently, but they're for a secret project, so I can't talk about it. Sorry. The suspense. I'll talk about it later after it's like all done and gifted. So I think that's everything for today. I think that was probably enough. I don't even know if anyone's going to watch this, and that's okay. But if you did, thank you so very much. If you want to follow me, I'm only on Instagram. I can't figure out Twitter. But I'm on Instagram. I try to post when I'm working on things. I am a very amateur photographer, like even like whatever level would be lower than that. I don't take good pictures. They're usually bad. There's usually something wrong with the lighting. Like, I don't understand pictures. My husband's great at it, but like usually I'm just snapping stuff like as I'm doing it. Like, on the couch in the evening watching TV or in the car. So I'm not good at like styling a picture or whatever you would call it. So I don't know. That's that. So this is the year for me of finishing things, and it's the year of organization, because I'm like one of those like organized, disorganized people. Like I could tell you exactly where whatever you're looking for is in the pile of mess, but I just would really love, specifically in my craft room office, I would really love everything to just have its own place, because when it does get really, really messy, I do shockingly get overwhelmed. And I really want my craft space to be like a calming, relaxing environment. This is my craft space, by the way. I am in it. Behind me is my wall of yarn. It's just a pegboard. It used to be like a crazy mess, but I am in the process of organizing it. So yeah, I took down all of I have a ton of like acrylic, like red hearts and things like that, just from projects that I used to crochet. I crocheted a lot of slippers and things like things that I wanted to like hold up that didn't necessarily need to be like soft, if that makes sense. So I have like a ton of red heart and Bernat Super Saver, and it's just not yarn that I grab for anymore. I know that it will have its purpose for me in my craft life, but it was just taking up like a lot of space up there and kind of clogging it up, and I couldn't really, it was hard to see what I actually had. So I'm going to take that, I'm in the middle of taking that all down. I don't know why I thought this was a great idea, but I'm also trying to utilize the stash feature on Ravelry, and I'm putting like all my yarn in there, which after starting, I realized I have like an obscene amount of yarn. But again, this isn't like over the last year. Like I've been yarning for 30 years now or something. I don't know, 25, whatever years, like decades. So this has just been a cumulative, you know, venture. So it's not like this is all from the last year or anything like that. So I'm just trying to weed through, find out what I really want to be using nowadays, figuring out fibers. I'm learning a lot about fiber content and what fibers you want to use for what garments or items, things like that. So that's been really fun this year too. So what was my point? I'm organizing. That's my point. So my yarn wall will continue to hopefully look different as I figure out how to organize it. I also sew. That's my little sewing machine back there. I have a lot of different hobbies, which isn't necessarily a good thing because it's really hard to divvy up your time. And then it's also really, really hard to be like amazing at all of them. So I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm organizing. So this is my craft room. This is my space. I have like my desk, my husband's computer and desk is in his little corner over there, but the rest of the room is mine, and I just need to get it figured out. So that's this year, finishing and organizing. I mean, I think that's a good plan. Again, thanks for hanging out. I was trying to say goodbye earlier and then I went on a little rant. That's my life. So anyway, if you want to follow me, feel free. It's nothing super exciting, but you know, I do my best to, I don't know, keep it updated, I guess, for nobody but myself. But anyway, I will add the information to all of my projects that I talked about below, and along with my like Instagram handle and Ravelry and all that kind of stuff. And thanks for hanging out. I'll see you later.